Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey, and we're back here in Rust to talking about that Rust console edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between, including PC Rust, the entire Rust community. And today we're coming at you with a unique specialty base build called the Bilge. This water base is specifically designed to keep you low-key, away from the Zergs, stealthy, built for solos, duos, and in a pinch, even a trio, giving you access at any point during a wipe, whether it's wipe day or a few days in, on a high population or low population server. Again, keeping you out of reach of the Zergs, or at least off their radar screen, giving you access to that fast progression by giving you boat access, scuba access to junk piles, sunken treasures, cargo ships, oil rig, and even the underwater labs. This base can do it all, I'm telling you, and even help you springboard your fishing. And it's good for transportation too. Okay. So this video is laid out with chapters. Just so you know, this base build is going to be a bit long, so this is going to help you navigate, especially if you're solo on an official server. It helps you kind of push around, so like the upkeep, the floor plans, that kind of stuff. So look for it down below. It'll either be in the play bar or in the description. It'll be a time code. Look for chapters. You'll see it. It's a little bit different on different mobile devices, so hopefully you guys can find it. Okay, credit where credit is due. This base is heavily inspired, even built off of the mechanic, that Maverick has done. His original base design called the Sea Bunker base. I'm going to go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. Please go check that out. Give him some love. Without his innovative design, this base would not be possible. I would even go as far as to say that this base design that I built is a variation off of his. Like, yes, it's different, but again, without his innovative design, this base would not be possible. So huge shout out to Maverick and his Sea Bunker base. It's amazing. Please give him some love and tell him that Jade Monkey sent you. Okay, so we're going to do a feature run through here fast and then show you the upkeep. You know what, let's go ahead and do the upkeep first. Just so you know, this is a water base that has to be 1 1/4 or 1 1/3 tiles into the water, as it does have access below the sea line to give you super stealthy entrance and anti-door camping. Nobody's going to be DBing you here unless you come out through the top. Okay, so let's pop in here and show you the tool cupboard. And again, we're doing this on PC just because we have a bit more access here, and we don't have custom servers yet over on the console side. And it just makes it easier for us to see this. Okay, so upkeep for this bad boy is 2,424 stones, 1,852 metal fragments, and 70 wood if you want to do the wooden shutters on the top. Okay, so features on this base has a, let me go ahead and bring up the toolbar here. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible with this. Sometimes I'll throw these on here. Hopefully you guys can see this. So underwater here, you have access to the base itself. And this is the main entrance as you come in here, and then you're forced to swim upward into this gap. And again, because of Maverick's design, he calls this the dome pool, which is very fitting, and you'll see why. Let me go ahead and take these off here. Let me go ahead and swim up. You can see you come up and you're forced into an absolute death trap of shotgun traps. Like, it's just going to wreck you. There's no way to fish these out. You can't shoot underwater. You have to go up and under very slowly, and your head's exposed, and you're just donezo. So this dome pool is what makes this super sneaky, super powerful, and keeps things stealthy all around. Okay, so up into the main part of the base here. The tool cupboard itself is off to the right, set in the back here using windows. You have a quad storage loot room here. You've got your workbench. You can upgrade this as you see fit. Another quad storage loot room here. And then we have a 6-banger loot room here in the back corner. And again, you can upgrade the outer walls as you see fit. And you have access to your furnaces here, also becoming your jump up into the honeycomb area that is the roof area. Another furnace back here in the corner, a sleeping bag here for your main, some smaller boxes, and you can even put your homies' sleeping bags down here too in the main corridor if you really want to, if you're going to go duo. Then up here you've got these, they're a bit peculiar, but I think they work quite well. You've got the roller boys here, a swing door there. You've got a turret here watching this doorway into a roller boy. Jump up here. You can use this to peek. And then this base is designed to be facing, or at least this doorway is designed to be facing the sea, so you can catch people coming up on you from the shoreline, and you're not opening up into a shoreline exposed area. And yes, this door is a little weird, as we've got these hanging out here, but what makes this good is you can create peaks and close these peaks for yourself As long as you're facing the sea, you can kind of control this here, and you'll definitely hear people coming because it's the water. And you can also fish off the back, you know, really work that progression. At nighttime, a lot of people are like, what do I do at night? I'm like, make scrap. That's what you do. So there you go. That's the basic layout, some features for this bad boy. Oops, you know what we forgot? We forgot the boat port here in the back. You can also enter the base completely. Again, we got a roller boy back here. Got underwater access. These vending machines to give you even more storage. Make sure you turn those off. And then you work into the main area here, and then you're back up into the dome pool. Bam. Whoops, there we go, right there. Again, low cost, and it's not that crazy to build. So let's go ahead and show you the floor plan, the layout here, and then we'll start breaking it down. Go ahead and pop up here. So this is a surface level of the same base here. I'll try to walk around slowly so you can see this. And this right here, by the way, is where the tool cupboard is. This is just Honeycomb. You don't have to put that on. It's a little bulbous, but just so you can see the mechanic without having to be under the fog of water. But it's not too bad. We've done this plenty of times over on the console side. It's definitely doable. Okay, so starting off here, please ignore these tool cupboards here at the bottom. I just want to make sure that these tiles didn't expire while I was trying to show this. Okay, so here's the core idea. I colored these different tiles on purpose. Where I'm standing right now is the center of the base, that wood tile. Again, ignore the tool cupboard. If you look to the lower right-hand corner, that metal triangle is where the tool cupboard is going to be elevated. And off to the left, that metal triangle represents the entrance for the boathouse area, and also the jump up with the furnaces on the 3rd floor. Take a snapshot if you need to. It just kind of helps you orient things. I'm going to move over to phase 2 as well here, just to kind of give you guys a nice rundown. I always like these flyback views. I'm a fan. Let me know in the comments if these are helping or not. Like phase 2 for this, again, kind of showing you the same layout. The tool cupboard is going to be in the lower right-hand corner on that metal triangle, and then access to the boat port is the metal triangle off to the left, and the boat port extension is going to be that entire wooden triangle area there, those 4 wooden triangles. You really want to do those kind of last as positioning and cost and all that stuff. I really want to make sure that we're putting cost and vulnerability in the equation here, as if you're rolling solo, you're risking everything every time you build, so it can be a little dicey. And then this is the 3rd floor in its entirety, showing you how all of this works. I left a wooden tile here in the center just to kind of show you how things work out. And again, that center tile, that wooden tile that points up, that wooden triangle is where you're going to be facing the sea. And then the bottom flat part of the triangle at the bottom of the screen is going to be where the shoreline is, to kind of keep you protected. Tactical cylinders up. All right. Okay, so I would recommend highly. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is make sure you throw down a sleeping bag and a stash. That's key, because you're probably going to drown a few times. You don't need scuba equipment for this, but it does help. And put your other stuff on the ground there, so you're not risking everything. And one of the things you do need for this is deep enough water, and the tiles need to be 1.5 tiles under the water. I should say 1 1/4, 1 1/3. So really you need about this much underwater. Everything that's going to be stone here, you need about this much underwater. So like 1.5. So with that in mind, I would say make your tool, your blueprints, your hammer and stuff, and just kind of test the water out here to make sure that it's deep enough, because you want the water line to come up halfway up on these roof tiles here. And this is really one of the more difficult parts of this. It's not too bad. I kind of put these 2 tiles here. Let me go ahead and put the scuba equipment on. Hopefully this helps. Kind of use my admin tools to move around a little bit. I found that this was deep enough. And what you want to do is find roughly where you want your depth to be. So it's going to be roughly here. But I'm going to move forward just a sconch. And that's going to be, I'm just going to make this wood for now, just so you guys know which way the center is. And I'm going to move backwards a bit to make sure this is high enough, but also I'm going to place a tile and another tile to make sure we got coverage. So that will work. That will work. It's a little close to the bottom, but that'll definitely work. Okay, so we know that's good. You want to have a wooden spear with you too to kind of knock these things out as you're working. And what we're going to do is, actually I lied. We're not going to make this wood, we're going to make this stone, if we can see it, just to help differentiate. We'll let you know which ones you need to make stone and which ones you don't. We're going to go up here and place these 3, and then fill in the bottom portion here. And just make sure that it's deep enough, and all of these are going to reach the top. There's a bit of a build order here, so you kind of have to be careful. Let me go ahead and take these off. It's going to be a little blurry. I apologize. That's another reason why we had all of those layouts. And again, you can see that the triangle is facing the C area. Let me go ahead and mark the specialty tiles where the tool cupboard is going to go here. And then this is going to be where the boat port is. I'm going to delete these tiles on the side so it's not confusing. It was just to help me mark this so I didn't have to go back and do it again. And we're going to put my character here. I'm going to take a swig of the old tactical cylinder, but also show you that same floor plan we're looking at right now. Again, replace those metal tiles. Well, it just shows you where they're at, right? Right. So after that, you still don't have your tool cupboard placed yet. Again, ignore this one. And you're going to have to elevate yourself a little bit. And this is where you're going to be going in and out of the water. Scuba stuff helps, but you don't need it. You don't even need goggles. You're just going to be doing a lot of like placement, come back up. That's another reason why I said put a bag down, because you're probably going to drown a few times. Okay. So this next part is focused on getting your tool cupboard up and safe. So you want to make sure you've got your door frames, hard side facing you. Swing around a bit, like this. Make sure you can place. You don't necessarily need to make those stone. So again, looking here, this is facing outward. This is where the tool cupboard's going to be. Place one of your wall frames here, another one on the exterior, and another one on the inside, kind of covering that stone tile there. And I would place a triangle floor. And then make at least one of these stone. I know a lot of people don't have stone initially, and that's fine. And then as you kind of float up here, go ahead and put your wall here, soft side facing you. Whoop. Here, and then another soft side there. Make one of these stone. And we also say put a half wall here, and then another floor tile. Spear this one out there. The reason why I'm having you do that there is this is like internal honeycomb, and it's impossible to get to later. So it's just good to kind of place it now. If you're really low on stone, you don't need to place that one yet, but if you do, go ahead. And again, if you have the stone, go ahead and place on this side. And what you want to do now is you want to work your way up to the top here. So this one's a bit more difficult. You could do a half wall and jump up to the top and place your tool cupboard, although I don't know if I'd say to do that quite yet. Okay, so take your wall frames like so. Oh, you know what? Pause, back up. Let's go ahead and take that wooden doorway frame, right? The twig. We're going to go over here and place it on the outside. This is going to be where the boathouse section is going to be. And again, soft side facing you. We're going to switch to a triangle foundation. And we're going to build out 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to leave that twig for now, just so you can kind of see what this looks like here. You know what? Let me leave it like this and see if I can... I think I can do that. Yeah, there we go. Kind of gives you an idea. You don't want to do the boathouse section quite yet, but having that underwater access and having those vending machines around there, it just helps to put the door there now. Anyways, I digress. Onto the outer perimeter here, we have the wall frames placed on the exterior, like so. And because you're underwater, people can't shoot you after a certain depth. They can only melee you, so you're pretty safe like this, at least for now. Now that you have these wall frames placed around the exterior of your foundation, I would say come up here. Again, this being your true north here. Whoop, whoop. I don't know how well you can see that. To my right, where the tool cupboard is going to be, I'm going to place a low wall, a half wall. Sorry, not a low wall, half wall. And it's very important that you don't place any of the roof tiles until we're absolutely positively ready. So because that half wall is there, it helps you kind of walk around. I like to place these first. It gives you some foundation piece. Again, we're going to try to make this as quick as possible. I'm going to kick this into overdrive after this more sensitive piece. So now that we have those placed, we can place a tile here and make this stone. And now we can place a wall here, soft side facing you, soft side facing you. And I'll zoom back again real quick. Again, the shore is here. The up for us is facing down on the screen towards the description, right? So we're going to place some tiles here so we can walk around. It's imperative that you place these tiles because you won't be able to place the ceiling tiles if you do it out of order. Okay, so your most pending thing here, urgent is going to be the tool cupboard, so you want to place it here, get it on the edge, and then kind of strafe over to the right until it touches the wall, hit it, touch it, and then place some materials inside. Try to skinny up as best you can, because you might get your wig split while you're out here doing this, so I'm using wooden locks just because it's quicker for the tutorial. If you do have metal fragments at this point, do upgrade this. It will be hard to get to later, but if you don't have it right away, just kind of wait on putting this window frame in until you do. Hard side facing you, and make this stone. Now, even if somebody shoots this out, let me go ahead and face the direction we should be that aims at the shore. Even if somebody shoots this out, we have enough foundational pieces here under the water and going all the way up to the tool cupboard that it shouldn't be a problem, right? Shouldn't, in most cases, unless you really tick somebody off. Okay, so now for the rest of the twig here on the top. Place it around here, and then we're going to go underwater and place the rest of the support pieces and make it stone. Again, at this point, you want to leave this half wall here, so that's your access to jump back up. As soon as you can, you know what, let's go ahead and say, let's jump down here, just for like safety's sake, because I know stone is so rare in the beginning. Out here on this side, go ahead and upgrade this, and then upgrade this frame. That way, as you come back over here, and again, this is a bit slow in the beginning, but I'm going to try to speed this up the best I can. Oh, can we not get to this? Oh, that's so annoying. We're a bit on the shallow side this time, but I guess we can delete this and then jump place it, right? Oh my goodness. Make the jump. Okay, well, you can make the jump like this and then place the half wall again. Whatever you got to do to come up to the top. Come on, place. Come on, place. Come on, place. All right, I'm going to float and do it. Yeah, we're a little close to the edge. You get the idea. Anyways, you come back up here. Once you have those supports down, you can make this stone here. And then this is for, like, safety, right? Like, I know we don't have the cap over there yet, but, like, I'm just assuming this is wiped in. You have, like, a million people trying to shoot you on the shoreline. You really want to get some kind of airlock going. So you have soft side facing you, soft side here. Upgrade this. And then I'm assuming you're going to start with a wooden door, but I'm just going to place a metal swing door here, a double door. Put a lock on it. And then that way, at least you've got somewhat of an airlock. I know you don't have any roof tiles yet, but that's fine. Place a sleeping bag, also important. And then as soon as you have materials, place those roof tiles, so at least you got a little something, so you can spawn here if you get your wig split. I'll go ahead and just kind of flip up here real fast. Okay, next most important thing is to secure your foundations below. Now let me go over to this piece right here. Well, I don't know if that really helps. You can kind of see how things are fortified. This is like completely upgraded. But what we want to do is go down here, and I will find all of these tiles here and make them stone. As soon as you can afford it, please do it. You can leave Twig just in front of all of the doorways in the center piece. Be sure to show you that. It just saves on some costs, but that way, like, somebody can't just knock down the whole support piece. And then as you have stone, work your way around the exterior and stone all of those wall frames. If you don't have enough stone, got to go back and farm it up. If you're really in the Straits of Dire, yes, you can make it wood, but it's just better to find the stone. Am I right or am I right? So again, if you don't have scuba equipment, you're going to be diving down, coming back up a lot. You might drown a few times, but you can place like one or two or upgrade one or two before you really start to gasp. So. And then you can swim on the surface, upgrade the rest here. I'm going to go ahead and use my admin tools to move it quickly. By the way, can't wait for custom servers to come to Rust Console Edition. We'll be doing a lot of these builds like this there. And, yeah, it's going to be good. Then what you want to do, as those are all now placed, let's go ahead and solidify this. This is your tool cupboard here. I'm going to go ahead and place a wall here, hard side facing me. That way it's totally enclosed, so you're safe. Checking all the foundation frames here, or I'm sorry, wall frames to make sure that doesn't fall down. And so that should be secure. Now, coming up here to your little jump point, now that everything else is stone, you can now make this floor all stone yourself. And it's important that you do this first, because if you don't, you won't be able to place your floor. And again, this is our original. Let me go ahead and face our ocean top of the triangle here. This is what it looks like. You can see our boat port on the side. So now that you have all of the floor stoned, you can now go down here, knock this out, Go here to the center, make these stone as well, and now you're going to place those ramp tiles. Ramp tiles? It would be triangle tiles. Go to the roof tile that is the roof triangle piece and place it like so, so it's facing outward over your head towards the wall frames that you just placed. You only need to place 3 of these, and the procedural corners will complete the rest. That's what makes this so cheap. And what I would strongly recommend is going in and testing this first, coming up to the top here and making sure that you can enter. And this is the area that you will be using. Okay, so I'm also assuming that while you're doing all of this, you're making doors, whether they're wooden doors or metal doors. Start making your furnaces too, collecting your low grade as quickly as possible. As you have your doors, go ahead and place them as they go in. Place a lock. Again, these would be code locks if you got your team. If it's solo, just use wood. I like to have doors all the way around so you can secretly enter or leave in any direction, especially if you have scuba equipment. Let's not forget how OP it is that fishing villages you can buy scuba equipment, right? Alright, so what this does here is it makes it solid for the piece. When you open the door, as you come in, if you have shotgun traps here, it'll absolutely eradicate somebody. So I'm going to go ahead, now that this is totally functional, all the floor tiles are in, I'm going to make this stone. And the tiles have to match the other tiles for the procedural corners to complete. Another reason why you want to be picking up your shotgun traps as you do the upgrade. Oops, let me go ahead and jump up here. Now you should be able to enter through the dome pool, as Maverick calls it, and swim up into it. Come on, make the jump. It's because I'm like transitioning between flying and not flying, but anyways. As you collect more stone, you're going to complete the walls on the exterior here. So soft side facing you. Sometimes you need to place this tile here to do so. Oh, that's right. You know what? I messed this up. So before you do these, you need to make sure that this is in place. Oh my goodness, I forgot. You need to make sure that you have this wall frame here. I'm trying not to mess this up. This is like my 50th take. We'll have to go back down here. And this is why you want to check these things, why you still have the destructive capability. The cementing phase, before it actually is concrete and you have to raise your own base. Okay, so place that again and upgrade. I know why I wasn't placing, because we didn't have a wall frame up in here. Okay, good. I was going to say, we should be able to place walls. So as long as you do the floor first, then the ramps, the roof tiles, you should be able to place the walls and have no problem. And again, I would strongly recommend placing walls here first, towards the shoreline, so, you know, it just gets a little active out there. And here's the other thing. Access to scuba equipment here, like buying it at the fishing village, OP. Fishing and then cashing out at the fishing village, OP. Don't underestimate it. Totally do it. If it's nighttime, fish. Make that money, baby. And think about it. You can constantly buy scuba equipment and you never have to surface. No one's ever going to know you're entering or leaving your base. Okay, so assuming that you're cooking up furnaces, let's say you have your first furnace or two. What you want to do is, again, showing this entrance here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the tile up here just so you know where the tool cupboard is, okay? Because you'll eventually do this. So you can have a look. Plus, I'm going to take a swig. All right. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you can use this to jump up to the rooftop. But really you want to start your loot rooms here. I'm going to try to do this very quickly. Off to the side here as you come up is going to be your quad loot room. Right here. Go ahead and place your half wall, your triangle, and then you're going to place your boxes, smack it down right in there. Delete this, make that stone. Oh my goodness. I mean, you do want to make that metal at some point, but I'm going to try to be quick as possible, right? Right. Okay, so boxes here. Keep the buckle facing in. Facing in, push it back. Same thing here. I love loot. I kind of put these in as I get the boxes. Again, like early game with the metal fragments and stuff, it's like, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss depending on how well you're doing. And I wouldn't worry too much about the boathouse quite yet. I would kind of park it on the outskirts as you see them, because it's always better to find them on the shoreline, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's say you have your first furnace. You want to go ahead and place it in the back corner here. Just in case you need to build your boathouse. That's going to secure the corner so you can place all three of them there. Again, that right-hand corner is where the tool cupboard is. And we're just going to place the other 3, assuming that you do. So let's be honest, if you're doing bandit camp and you're like fishing for scrap and stuff, you're going to get a ton of low grade because you're getting fat and cloth and you can just craft it out. Again, if you're looking to make scrap fishing, and you totally can, whether you have fishing village or not, you can make even more if you have fishing village. I recommend the fishing for scrap video I've already made. I will go ahead and link that now in the upper right hand corner. Check that bad boy out if you haven't already. Don't underestimate the scrap, man. The fishing is OP. Fishing traps on the shore and also fishing on you. Okay, so this back corner here is going to be your 6-layer loot room. Go ahead, I'm going to place the tiles here. And really, you kind of compartmentalize and build out as you have the materials, but also as you see fit. Because if you have a lot of people scoping on you, jumping up and stuff, then you really want to start making these compartments slowly forward with doors and airlocks. Very important. So now that we have the furnaces here, this is where your jump up is going to be. That's why I capped this off. I'm going to really jump the gun here and put a turret down here. Let's say you're doing oil rig or whatever. As you get those, you can place them there. I'm going to place a wall frame here too, just because this is taking a long time, right? Like this build, so I just want to make sure it's moving quickly. So let me know if it's helpful, if I'm moving too quick. Again, I'm going to move roller doors in, assuming that you have them. And if you don't, you can use double doors. Putting locks on. Put the bulbous end facing you, and this is your main jump up, and this is the quad loot room. And this is your jump up. Put your lock here. And, okay, so for this back room here, once you have the boxes, you place it buckle facing you. See where this line is here at the bottom of the box? I like to get it parallel. One is blue, and then I kind of walk straight back until it locks in. Can I get it in the corner here? This is the best way I've seen to do this. And then you turn your back and face this wall. Make sure the buckle's facing you until it's blue. Push it against the wall. And then rotate this and push it back to the wall so you have access to this box in the corner. And do the same thing up here. Let's try to be quick about it. Buckle facing, parallel, push it back. Buckle facing, boop, boop, parallel to the wall, push it back, and then rotate. And keep this wall, or push up against the wall here so you have access standing freely. And then place your wall frame in the corner here. Whoopsie poopsie. Sorry, I gotta move super sacks. This is exactly how we would do it on custom servers on console, just saying. And then again, once you have the roller boys, go ahead and place the lock here. Upgrade this top tile. I'll try to open these bad boys up so you can see what's going on. And that's the jump up. And this is your, not quad, but 6-banger loot room. Hot. And pick this door up as you have the materials and move your sleeping bag into the main room here. Parallel to this door here as best you can. Not on the socket, but it helps to have it there. Okay, so in here, this is your loot, not loot room, but it is a loot room, but this is your tool cupboard. If you place the tool cupboard back far enough, you should be able to access the code lock as your teammates come on. If you didn't place it well enough, that's okay. The box we're going to place here, you'll just have to empty it out and pick it up each time you have a new member sign in. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Just kind of keeps things on the up and up. I don't know, I haven't checked my time yet on this, but... And then we place the box here. And a roller boy, bulbous side facing you. So all of this locked up here. You have your 6-banger on this side, your tool cupboard on the back here, your jump up, and your other quad here. Now that we have all the doors placed, real quick before I forget this, this can be any workbench level you see fit. As you have one and you upgrade to the next, you can pick that one up and then move it over. I like keeping this about in the middle because you can keep sleeping bags here. You can still access this side and close this and still jump up on this side. And again, if you look off to the right, if somebody were to jump in, that turret can split your wig. Okay, so this part's a little tricky. I've messed this up a few times. Up here, again, let's go ahead and stand and pull back while I take another drink. Another swig. Lower right-hand corner is where the tool cupboard is. Left-hand side represents the jump up, but also down below, if we kind of skis over, you can see that exactly aligns where the boathouse is going to be and also boathouse entrance. Okay, so as you jump up here, we're going to place a wall in the center column. Hopefully, I'm going to kind of talk this out so I don't mess this up completely. I messed it up a few times. So as you jump up here, you're going to walk in this direction. So this is going to be a wall soft side facing you. Soft side facing you. And The reason is because this is going to be a jump up, and if somebody comes down, you don't want them to be able to soft side their way into your base. So again, this is up here. That's the tool cupboard. I like to place this here, hard side facing you, and on this side above the tool cupboard. And if you haven't made this metal yet, please do, because you won't be able to really access it. I guess you could inside, but it's real rough. Like, as soon as you can, make that metal. And make this stone as well. And we're just going to place all of the things up here first, so we kind of don't lose track of everything. I know this is going to be weird. We got a frame here. Very, very bizarre. We're going to have another frame here for the jump up, and another frame here for a door, a swing door. I know, weird. And have another furnace, because this is your jump up furnace. And we're going to have a roller boy here facing with the bulbous side inside the jump up, and a lock. And this will make sense in a minute. I'm going to stand in the jump up so you guys can see what's going on here. Please take note. You can see where the tool cupboard is, and again, boathouse foundations are right here. Take another swig. On the right-hand side where the tool cupboard is creating even more honeycomb, sneaky honeycomb, and we're going to add the roof tiles here in a sec. Woo, I told you it'd be a long one. Okay, so I like to place all these first. I do like to place Twig here because it gets a little weird. Having upward access as you're placing triangle roof tiles does help. Kind of walking up on the edge here. Yeah, then it turns blue. It's just a real fickle corner. It always has been, always will be. By the way, on the console side, you may need to place these roof tiles before you place this honeycomb, because the procedural corners are supposed to work on every instance, but I think you have to have the tile up first, the slanted tile, the roof tile, and then you place the wall, and then it does the procedural cut. It's incorrect, but it is what it is. Again, I'm going to delete this off the corner and kind of make this here. This is our jump up, so please don't upgrade that. That's another corner. If I kind of step back, you can see, that's what I was trying to avoid. If it's really bad, you can always place some floor tiles out here, and then it kind of helps with your positioning, and then just make sure you delete it. Did I break something down here? I think something broke. Am I crazy? Anyways. Okay. I'm going to place this here. Another tile here. I like to have the last tile be not on a corner with these, because it just gets a little weird. You'll see as you do this. Doing this in Builder's Paradise is a good idea. This one can be rough, so I kind of like to do this one like so. Oof, still really bad, huh? Another reason not to put the honeycomb up yet, I guess. And these corners are nasty. Kind of just strafe slowly until it turns blue. Come on. Come on. Here we go. I'll upgrade that to stone, and now let's go ahead and place this here, hard side facing. Again, that is top of the tool cupboard here. Let me just look down so you can see it. Boop, there it is. Let me just pull back again. The only reason I'm doing this a lot is because I did this build and I still get lost. That one tile on the lower right is where the tool cupboard is. And yes, these wall frames are supposed to stick out of the roof tile. Strafe here, place, and strafe here in place. Again, they all have to be the same material for the procedural corner to complete. That's kind of what makes it so hot, actually. I'm going to use my admin stuff just so we speed this up. And you should have access down here. Now, again, as you get access, let's go ahead and knock this out. That is your furnaces. As you have, what are these called? Turrets. Place them. I know you're not going to have them right away, but I'm just showing you where the positioning is. Again, the main cone facing towards me, and that way if somebody goes deep on you, this can absolutely obliterate somebody. Now, here is going to be where the double doors come in. Well, a double door. So this double door can swing either way. This just kind of keeps it as a nice stopgap if somebody does go deep and somehow they get past that. This one's a little tricky. So since this sits inside and outside, you want the code lock to not be on this frame, but you want it to be on the interior. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but just look. If you look at the door frame now, the garage door is going to set like this, but if I look to the right, you see it's going to inset. You want it to inset so the lock is on the left here. Important. It just helps. And then you can add more as you want to, but the whole idea here is that these little guided areas here are facing towards the ocean, and so people don't necessarily know what's going on if they're looking at the shoreline towards the base. It's kind of a blind side, and it creates a bit of cover for you and a bit of a safety zone. So, and it's nice. Look at this. You can close this while you're outside. Kind of a nice feature. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me quite a bit. Okay, so if you're on the top here, go ahead and place a twig area, or twig floor tile, wall frame, and now you're going to put windows, soft side facing, make this stone, knock this out, and make this stone another ceiling tile, and go ahead and place. And again, as you get tech tree and progression, you can place these here. If you don't have them, you can always place the wooden ones. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. And then I think it's important to put a swing door here with the lock. You want this to be able to close quickly. Another reason why we have this bulbous end here for the garage door, because you can stand and look towards the shore and see what's coming. And you might be like, hey, what if somebody's down here? I'll be honest. If anybody's swimming, rebreathing, driving a boat, anything, you will hear them a mile away. That's what makes this base so heady. And if you have the wooden shutters, place them like this. That way you can be on the inside and look and see if there's any action out on the beach. I'm kind of just pushing up against the wall here. Then you can close them from the interior. You don't want to let people know what's going on here. Got the turret off the corner. Got the swing door here. I don't know about you, but I leave roller boys open for most of the time while I'm online. And then those like swing doors are kind of like nice stopgaps. Okay, so if you have one more furnace, you can place it in the back here. Then if you have some small boxes to go with it, you can place it like here. And then push it up against this wedge. And then you should have enough room for another sleeping bag for your other teammate, your duo buddy. Or another sleeping bag for you, question mark? I don't know. You tell me. All right, sleeping bag right here. And I know we're not doing the upgrades quite yet, but I think it's important to kind of show what this is going to do here. This area here, it's important. These are hard side. But this tile here, so nobody can just blow straight into your main area. And I like to make this metal right away. And again, make sure it's facing the right way. Hard side facing you in the chamber. So if somebody got in here and went deep, they can't just, you know, wooden spear their way into the base. That's the idea. Soft sides. I will close this. And you can see how this just kind of wraps around. And it hides that you have the metal there. I think that's important. All right, moving quickly. Closing this door, going back down here. We'll do the rest of the upgrades here in a minute. Again, if you have this window frame, you place it here. Let's go ahead and do the upgrades to the tool cupboard area. It's going to be this wall here. If you had this misplaced where it's not hard side facing you, when you upgrade, you do have a window where you can rotate. Because that's the tool cupboard area, you want to make sure that's metal, and this little triangle piece that moves down as well. And you should be fairly well protected, to be honest. And, you know, keep it on the cheap. I'm trying to prioritize the stuff so it makes sense. And I like to make this one metal too, in case somebody comes from the outside. Yes, we're going to do the outside walls here, like metal in a minute, but yeah, it just kind of keeps people, like if they blow in on this side, it kind of creates another chamber for them, especially if all these are closed. Just saying. Okay, we're going to do the boat section next here, the boathouse. Let me go ahead and stand up on the rooftop so you can see this again. The boat section is going to be right down here, and we'll show you what the main base looks like over here as I take another swig. And I'll show you the cutaway for the third floor. And again, that weird spot on the lower right is 100% like like a weird honeycomb for the roof tile. Moving right along, and this is the cutaway. This is what it looks like. We just drop down. I hope it's helpful. So we'll cover it on the low right. So yeah, the idea here is as you get the metal, you start to upgrade the exterior. And then when you're really paid, if you're running a lot of oil rig and whatnot, you're going to slowly start to accumulate high quality. And when you do, you can start to upgrade the rest of the base. Here's what I tell people. By the way, you're just going to upgrade all these to stone. I'm like, look, calculate the cost for the upgrades, but also calculate the cost for your 24-hour, and then add an extra 24-hour to it before you do the upgrade, right? So that makes you really pick and choose when you do it. Put these wood frames here on the outside. I'm going to make this stone. Really, these foundations can stay stone after a major upgrade, because if somebody's dumb enough to be under here piking it out, it's not going to do anything. This is just going to be your boathouse. Go ahead and take your triangle frames, place, place, place. Get up on the top here. Go ahead and upgrade these. I forgot to put in the last support pieces down here. I think it's kind of important. It just keeps the trolls away. Right here, you're going to put more wall frames here. Hopefully this isn't too dark. So we have them going crisscross, left and right, and then left and right. And then I upgrade these too. It just creates more connectivity, and if somebody knocks out the foundation, it's not going to do anything. You want them to waste their time. You want to hear them. You want to catch them doing it, and then you want to wreck them. Okay, so this is another reason why you want to do the boathouse last, because it creates a platform for people to sit on. It's not great for you. Okay, so on the interior here, we've got all these different doorways. Now's the time to upgrade these tiles. I guess you don't have to, but you can. I'm just trying to save money. So now this doorway here is going to connect to this, but this all has to be roped off. Now, if you're going to go the vending machine route, you can place more door frames here. Make them... start with stone, then you can upgrade them later. If we're standing up here, I'm going to place a triangle frame right here in the back. Then I'm going to place a wall soft side facing me. And then over here, same idea, soft side facing me. I'm going to pull back so you can see it. A little weird, kind of hard to see. But this way it encloses the area that you're going to use to go up and under. Again, you don't need a scuba tank to make this happen. And again, once you have this area set up like this base, pick a location that's away from high traffic to oil rig. It kind of keeps the chads off your doorstep. But keep it kind of close to fishing village and or the harbor, because you're going to be using the harbor recycling a lot. And it's pretty dope. Okay, so now that we have this top lid here that we just put in, I'm going to do these kind of cattywampus. You know what? We'll come back for the upgrade later. We're going to finish the boathouse section. Okay, so we have the frame here. Go ahead and place a wall soft side facing you. Soft side facing you. And then a wall frame here. This is going to be the entrance for the boat. Pull back so you can see it again. And then I think to place the roof tiles, I would get on the roof and kind of like walk the edge here. It helps a lot, I think, with placement. And then make sure that you have roof triangles selected. I start back here like so. Then jump up on this and then use it to place. Kind of get on that edge a little bit. It's super fickle. You just need to kind of get a sense for it. It's really annoying. There you go. There's one. There's the other. The reason why I left this bottom piece out... Did I mess that up? Do I have a roof tile? Is that right? Yeah, I guess that's right. It just looks real goofy off the corner. Yeah, it's right. I'll let this off like so, just because this cut down here is going to be weird for console, so it's just better to do it like this. Once you have these up here, you can start to upgrade these to stone. You really don't need this to be anything other than stone. Then once you get back down here inside of the boat compartment, you're going to select your walls again, and then soft side facing, and then you should be able to jump, upgrade these. Boop. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Gotta keep it legit, man. Again, if you're doing these in small chunks, it makes it so much more manageable. You're not biting off more than you can chew. It's giving you maximum coverage. And then I like to put a roller boy here with the bulbous end inwards with a lock. And if you have the materials, place here, and then a lock. And if you go underwater here, and you have enough for not only gears, but the high quality to make vending machines, you can place these here for extra storage. Place this here, soft side facing. Soft side back up a little bit, soft side facing, and then back up again, soft side facing you. And then don't forget to disable the broadcast. Now, if you back up just a little bit more, you can make a wall frame here, and you have even more coverage. So if somebody breaks into your boathouse area, they still gotta pay to get in. Place another roller boy here and a lock on the corner. I'll try to walk through this on the ground level one, just so it makes more sense. And then we're going to move on to the upgrades to the base. You can kind of see up here, we've got this weird spot, but it works totally. Yeah, I might be able to place a workbench up here. We'll show you how the boathouse works here. I'm just kind of push this bad boy. Push it up. So again, because you can go in underwater, using scuba equipment, like if you're getting chased and you're farming like trees, if you have a scuba tank on you, that's all you need. Just run to the water, get into the deep end, and just dive. You can put on the diving tank while you're running, and the chances of them hitting you, the deeper you get, it's like it just removes the ability for them to shoot you. So you can take all of your farm and just push your way back into the water and enter under the base in the back or wherever. Just keep a surplus of tanks on you. Take one with you wherever you go. People throw them out anyways. Look, there's a sound glitch for the boat right now. Boop, boop, boop. Again, if you find this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. And if you're into it, consider dropping that subscribe on my channel. It helps out tremendously. There you go. Park it here. Good to go. And you submerge yourself here. Again, you don't need a tank for this, although you might need to take a breath of air if that door is opening. And then go back down. Then you can enter the dome room here. Now, if you have your... This is the upgrade phase now. We're in the upgrade phase. If you want to look at the exterior, we're going to show you how to upgrade the base and areas you may want to focus on first. Whoops, I'm kind of floating through here. Just want to show you how this bad boy looks. And then we're getting close to finishing. So this will maintain most areas here. You don't really have to worry about the soft side under here, as somebody's just going to break in and be stuck here with more shotgun traps and your bottom floor. Now, as you get the metal, start to do the upgrades. I would recommend doing metal first, and then as you get beefier and more rich, then consider doing these outer walls as high quality. But that is the last step you're going to do. Unless you're like stupid rich, just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like these walls here would be high quality. And then if you're really heady, you can do your rooftop as a metal piece as well. Don't forget, you can use this in conjunction with other bases. This can be your main, or this can be your support. Okay, so here's what I would recommend. If you're down here, before you do all of the upgrades here, I would go and start hitting these tiles on the floor here. Anything that has a flat area here like this, just give me a little bit more support. All right, use my admin tools here. I'll try to speed this up. And everything over the boathouse, you really don't need to make metal at all. So this way you have these little stone pieces that come out by the doorway. It just saves some money. And then I like to take these door frames and make them metal. It's more for support. Once you do get armored doors, you can make that an upgrade, which is pretty heady. And as you get the money, you can make these metal too. But it's not required, but... Oh my goodness, I made the incorrect upgrade. There we go. And if you're going to make that metal, you should make this metal as well. You don't need to do any more than that on that side. Again, pick and choose. I would do these center columns first and then work up to the piece here. Another reason why you want to pick up these shotgun traps as you're doing the upgrade inside here is those procedural spots will kind of cause damage to these or destroy them altogether. Watch, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Sometimes they hang, sometimes they don't. Watch, they'll probably pop. That's what I'm talking about. You really don't need to make these tiles high quality unless you're really sitting on a lot of cheese. Just so you know. So downstairs, you've got metal here. And then the other one here, I guess you can make that metal for support. You don't really need to have anything else for that. And then that's when you change these roof tiles. And then as you're under here and the shotgun trap's already picked up and you have the metal, go ahead and make your floor metal. You know, it just keeps people from skeezing on you. If you're worried about people breaking in and then soft siding, you can make these high quality if you want to. But I would do your main floor first and then work on your loot rooms later. And maybe high quality your... just under your tool cupboard, so it would be like right here. Did I not make this wall over here? Oh wait, I did. This is the tool cupboard. So I make like this tile high quality and this tile, just because that's your loot room, and then this is your TC room here. So it just keeps people from, oops, sorry, that's probably super confusing. Anyways, make the floor tile metal when you can. It's cheap. They're triangles. That's why they're so good. Yep, and then place your shotgun traps again. Make a ton, and I mean a ton, of handmade shells. Make sure you're not locking yourself out of your base, because draining these is going to be a nightmare. Bingo. Okay, so you're looking good. Floor is upgraded. Now, once you have the metal, again, go to the exterior and upgrade these outer shell pieces. You don't need to make this metal. You really don't, because we have all those layers inside. Remember, we added those, and the roof is also acting as a like quadruple layer. This is recommended pretty quickly to do something like this, because someone can splash the outside of this and really get inside fast. And then I would work on the support pieces here. All these stone bricks, these stone wall frames. Then you're getting pretty close to finish. And the thing is, like I said, this base can be used as a support base or a main base. This base is exceptional with other bases as well. It's always good if you want high survivability to do something like an additional base. I would suggest the Arrow Vault base on the ground area. I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. That is really an only solo base design, as it is a vault where you have to wreck yourself and spawn back in. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Again, this is the exterior, and I think we almost have everything. Let's take a look. I guess you can make one of these metal here. You don't have to make this one metal either, because there's literally so many layers. You want to keep that cost down too. As you jump up here, then you've got your access on the side. Then you want to double check to make sure your tool cupboard is good to go. You've got all your doors. Slap it up. And then don't forget your horizontal embrasures on top of this. And if you have an armored window, by all means do it. And then I would go here and at the very least hit these tiles here above your main corridor, and then especially above your TC area, and then upgrade the rest as you have the money. Gotta jump up here so you can see it, and then make this wall metal too. This kind of keeps people from doing an easier raid on the interior. And then these tiles are easier to access up here as your loot rooms kind of pack them in the back. And then again, if you can afford it, start slapping them. Get them good. And then take that excess and keep going. Do not underestimate the power of water scrapping or progression. It is super OP. It always has been, and it's getting even better, especially with the changes coming in with more fish trade-in at the vending machines. Whenever we get ocean-bound or roughly around there, we should be getting that update as well. So this is the Bilge base build. Super OP. Again, it's designed for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And again, I would strongly recommend going over and giving Maverick, who originally came up with the C bunker base design, and please give him some love. He deserves a lot more subs, and he's got a lot of very interesting base builds. I'll go ahead and link his channel again now in the upper right hand corner. Please go check him out. Definitely worthwhile. And yeah, without his base design for this would not be possible. Also, real quick, you can add a bit of honeycomb here, because this is the tool cupboard wall. A bit of goofy honeycomb, because yes, people can soft side it, but who cares? Soft side here, make that stone, make this stone, and then you can place a roof tile here, and then let them soft side you, and then come home and listen to all that noise, and then pop them. There's a lot of dedication to soft side out in the water, and it makes you extremely exposed. So there you go, that's the Bilge. And if you're like, hey, this is a great base, but it would be awesome to have a base or a boat base on the shoreline where you can ferry between this, because it's kind of out in the middle of the water, or even between fishing villages or harbors, or even your main base. So you'd have your main base on the mainland here, a shore base here, and then this base out just working the water zones. Well, I have a base for you called the Jib. This is specially designed to be a support base. I guess you could live out of it, but I wouldn't recommend. But using this in conjunction with the Bilge base, these are super OP, as you can go back and forth, run a bunch of fish traps, do transportation between different areas on the map, and just really unlock the potential of these two bases. Consider them modular. We'll go ahead and put them up on the end screen now. Doodle-oop.